Hey everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this landing page optimization guide, we're going to be going through 7 steps, a checklist to make sure that your landing page is ready to go for that paid traffic. This will, of course, will also work if you're doing organic, but especially if you're driving paid leads to a landing page, we want to make sure that it's ready to go to collect leads for us, and there's no silly mistakes we've made that will actually hurt our conversions. So timestamp table of contents in the description, along with some other helpful links to build the rest of your sales funnel and landing page. So here we're just going to dive into these 7, but before we do that, there are 3 keys to success when it comes to putting together your landing page and setting it up for conversions and leads. And the first key to success is understanding the definition of a landing page. And simply put, a landing page is a page designed to collect contact information in exchange for value. And that is it. That's all a landing page is designed to do. So as we go through these 7 steps, just keep in mind, all a landing page needs to do is to collect someone's contact information. And the way we do that is by offering something that would be valuable to your ideal customer. Now, in the grand scheme of where do landing pages fit in this whole sales funnel process, go ahead and take a look at this diagram. You'll see at the top, prospects are everyone who's across the internet that could possibly do business with you. And what a landing page is designed to do is to take traffic that's coming from all of those sources and filter it down into people who are an actual lead, who will be most likely to do business with you. So just wanted to share that in the context of everything else that you're doing with your marketing and sales. Landing pages are what take prospects and audience members to become leads and eventually customers. So once you collect that name and email, they turn into a lead from just an audience member or a prospect. Now, the second key to success when it comes to landing pages is focusing on being short and to the point. If you can say something in 3 words versus 5, always go with the 3 words. When you're testing, you can always add content, but as a general rule of thumb, to being successful with your landing pages and your conversion optimization, less is more. Now, the third key to success when it comes to optimizing your landing pages for conversions is focusing on the viewer or the website visitor, not the offer. So you want to focus on who you're trying to help, not what you're trying to offer, right? Because a landing page is designed to collect someone's contact information and we're offering something to them, but the landing page shouldn't be about how great this offer is. The landing page should be about how this offer will help the person who's reading the page. It's a subtle difference, but it is very important that you focus on the visitor and the ideal customer and prospect, not necessarily what you're offering to try and get their contact information. So with that, we're ready for the 7 steps. And the very first step is making sure that we are following the rule of 1. 1 ideal customer, 1 offer, 1 result, benefit, roadblock, and 1 call to action. And of course, we'll walk through each part of your landing page, but as we move forward, just remember that you want to be focused on 1 when it comes to everything that's on your landing page. And of course, that ties into one of our keys to success, being short and to the point. Now, the second big thing that you want to look at is your headline, because this is going to be the most important part of your landing page, and your headline needs to do 2 things. Number 1, it needs to tell visitors that they're in the right place, and number 2, it needs to answer the question, what's in it for me? So a great way to either write your headline if you're still trying to figure out what your headline should be, or double check that your headline follows these 2 rules is to make sure you clearly understand the big benefits or the results that people are after and the roadblocks that are getting in their way. The roadblocks are how we're going to make sure that we're talking to a specific person, and of course the big result is whatever your offer ultimately enables them to do or your product or service enables them to do. So let's go through an example to concretely make sure that your headline is airtight and talking to the right person. So in this particular example, we're going to be looking at someone who's trying to grow a YouTube channel. So what is their big dream? How is their life different as a result of achieving their goals? Well, their big dream is to be a full-time YouTuber, wake up on their own schedule and just make videos. Okay, great. Well, what is getting in the way of them enjoying that dream? Well, it's probably they need to get more views, they need to accelerate their subscriber growth, improve their video quality, and of course, get their videos ranked. And going through this simple exercise will make sure that you are focused on what they actually want, their ultimate goal. Now, obviously, your opt-in offer might not get them the whole way there, but as long as we know that the opt-in offer is a step in the right direction, we can talk about how this is a step in the right direction in our bullets and our headline. And of course, the roadblocks are going to enable us to specifically call out to someone and say, I understand your frustrations, your roadblocks, your current pains. here's what I can do to begin to help you solving that problem. So here are a couple of examples of how we can take this list and transform it into a headline. So I have two formulas for you if you're still working on writing your headline. The first one is how to result without hard part, and the second one is how to result even if the roadblock. So here we have a couple of examples. I'll just read a few. You're more than welcome to pause. So the first one we have is how to grow a channel without getting lots of views. The big result, they want to grow a channel. And then the pain point that they're currently feeling, or the roadblock, is they're not getting enough views. So we're going to tell them that they can get what they want even though they're not overcoming one of the roadblocks they have right now. I'll skip down to the second to last one. Here we have how to rank videos even if you have a small channel. So here we're actually starting with a problem that a small channel would have. They're not able to rank their videos. They have a very poor ranking. And then we're saying, even if you have a small channel, and this is specifically calling out to their situation, showing, hey, we understand you're not able to rank videos right now. We understand that you're a small channel, but you're going to be able to do this despite your situation. And then of course, finally, you want to make sure that your lead magnet actually delivers on whatever your headline says that they're going to be able to do. Now, it doesn't have to take them from A to Z ranking the videos. It can just show them a couple of in this particular example, we could just show them a couple of pointers of, hey, this is what you could do 1, 2, 3 real quick on how they can improve. It doesn't always necessarily have to be this giant overarching like 50-page PDF of every little thing, but you do want to make sure that your lead magnet is in fact valuable and helping them with whatever their problem is. And of course, lead magnets will be in a completely another video. You can check out the link in the description to some videos and playlists that will help you through figuring out what your lead magnet should be and how to put it together. Now, number 3, when it comes to our checklist here, is looking at our bullet points. And our bullet points need to communicate benefits, not features. If that doesn't make sense, we'll get to that in a second. Essentially, your bullet points just need to answer the question, what does it do for me? And when I say, what does it do for me, I'm talking as if I was your ideal customer coming to the page. So you always want to be answering their questions. And here's a quick example of a difference between features and benefits for a webinar. So in a bad example, this webinar is 90 minutes long and has really cool ranking case studies. Okay, that's great, but why would I, a small creator, care about ranking case studies, or why would I even care that it's 90 minutes? Maybe to me, that just sounds like, oh great, now I have to watch 90 minutes. I don't even know if the whole thing's gonna be valuable. Versus, this webinar reveals how you can rank your videos so you can compete with big channels. Okay, this is very concrete, to the point, and the key phrase in here is so you can. So you can talk about what they get, so you can do XYZ. Now, of course, when we're talking about ranking in this example, it would most likely be a series of case studies with small channels, but they don't care that it's a case study. They want to know why do I need to watch the case study? What am I going to be able to do as a result of the case study, as a result of the webinar or the PDF or the discovery call, whatever it may be. So you just want to make sure that you can use that formula so you can, and also answer the question, what does it do for me? Again, focusing on the visitor, not the offer. Now, the next step we want to make sure is taking a look at our calls to action. And calls to action, these are the call to action buttons that they're going to click to either have a form pop up so they can enter their contact information. We'll get to form fills in a bit, or it can be the button they click because you have the form right on the page. Either way is fine. Of course, if you're doing a lot of mobile traffic, you probably want to try having the form on the page so they don't have to click something and have a pop-up awkwardly take over their screen. Now, when it comes to the call to action, you want the button to be a different color than everything else on the page. This is personally something that I've screwed up a lot with in the past. However, when I say different color, I don't mean just make it neon green or something obnoxious, right? It still needs to go with the flow and with the design of the page, and it just needs to be clear. So I've actually done landing pages in the past where I do a lot of white backgrounds and I actually use the same blue throughout the entire landing page. But we found that it didn't actually hurt the calls to action because it was very clear that that was the button people needed to click. So it's not necessarily about making it some bright color or making it super big, taking up the entire page. It just needs to be different enough that it's clear that's where people click to get the opt-in offer. And it's important that the call to action button is very clearly tied to whatever the opt-in offer is. So if you're talking about a webinar, click register now. If you're talking about a guide or a PDF, you can click download now, or you can click get the guide now, or yes, I want my guide if you have more space with your button text. It just needs to be very clear that it's a button, and that's what they need to click in order to get whatever the offer is. Now, number 5 on our list is the actual opt-in form, and this is going to be very, very important depending upon what kind of leads you want. So as a general rule of thumb, the more information you ask for, the less leads you will get. So if you want more leads, ask for less. If you want less leads, ask for more. And so here are a couple of examples of what you can ask for in these form fields. At bare minimum, you want to at least ask for their email, and you can ask for their name. I've seen successful landing pages that just ask for the email, and other landing pages that you want to have that personalization in your email sequence where you actually put in their name. Great, you can ask for their name. Their data is still inconclusive as to whether or not it really matters if you collect the name or not. Now, the next tier of information you can collect is the last name and the phone number, and ask for the type of customer they are. So for example, if you are a personal trainer, you might ask for their age, their gender, or maybe their experience in weightlifting, right? So you want to know if you're talking to a beginner, an intermediate, or expert. That might change the type of information you want to send to them. Again, the more you ask for, the less leads you're most likely going to get. And then of course you could go full-blown contact collection and ask for things like their website URL, their company name, their budget or company size, and address. Typically you don't need this kinds of information, but if it's very important to whatever your lead generation process is on the back end, if you have to do a lot of pre-qualification, or if you're getting a ton of leads, which is a really cool problem to have, then you could go ahead and just increase the amount of things you're asking for on your landing page, and you'll more likely to get more qualified leads, because people who really want to talk to or really want whatever you're offering are the ones who are going to fill out the form fields, the extra form fields, versus those who just see like, oh, you want my company name and address? Forget it. I didn't really want the PDF or webinar anyway. Now, the second to last one we have is proof. And this is where you're showing people that they can trust the page that they just came to. Because chances are you're going to have a lot of cold traffic or new traffic coming to your landing page, and they're not necessarily comfortable with who you are or who your company is. And so they need something that tells them they're not stupid for entering their name and email, because nobody wants to admit that they entered their name and email on a page and then they started to get spam, right? So the quick way to do this is to have a couple of customer testimonials. Now, if you don't have any customer testimonials and you've had the ability to show up on some media publications in the past, then you can go ahead and put those. Those do a pretty good job of showing that you're legitimate. And finally, if you haven't showed up in any other publications, or you don't have any certifications and you don't have any testimonials, then you can go ahead and do a quote from yourself, which I know sounds silly, but we just want to put a face, a real person on your landing page. So you can do that at the bottom, and you can do a quick quote about why you think whatever you're offering is so important, or how you've seen it change and help other people. And then once your landing page is up, go ahead and try as quickly as possible to get at least 1 or 2 testimonials from any one of your customers or anyone who's done business with you, so that you have some other people backing up that, hey, you're a real person and you're not about to spam them after they enter their name and email. Now, the final one we have, number 7, arguably one of the most important out of all of these, is tracking, because what isn't measured cannot be improved. And this is something that's very easy to overlook, because you've done a tremendous amount of work making sure that your headline and your bullets match up, making sure that you have the right opt-in offer, going through all of the headaches of just putting this page together, whether you're using a page builder or WordPress. And now it's time to make sure that all of the traffic that's coming to your page is actually being measured correctly. I highly recommend using something called Google Tag Manager. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can check out a full-blown tutorial on how to set up Google Tag Manager. It's a one piece of code that goes across your entire site, and then you never have to worry about adding tracking codes again. You can just go into the Tag Manager interface and add your tracking from Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. Well, Facebook and Instagram, I guess, are the same thing, or Google or YouTube. Well, Google and YouTube are also the same thing. So there you go. You can get all your codes inside there, and you really want to make sure at the very least you have Google Analytics set up on your account. Of course, link in the description on all that fun stuff. So that does it for the 7-step checklist to make sure your landing page is airtight. Now, I know a lot of these check marks were all about the copy, and that is because the copy is the most important part. As you've seen with a couple of examples that I've put throughout this video, there is a lot you can do with the design, but at the end of the day, it's the headline, it's the bullets, it's the proof and call to action that are really, really important, and making sure that you're just talking about one offer, one ideal customer, one result, one roadblock throughout all of your copy and throughout all of your landing page. So if you got some value out of this video, go and hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth marketing tactics and strategy guides just like this one. Comment below if you have any questions. And as always, keep building the business you love.